Praise Yahuah, brothers and sisters. Praise the Most High, the one who is truly worthy of praise and honor, esteem, reverence. All praises to the Most High. He's even worthy of us writing it out. I see so many times it written as an acronym. When he's worthy of every minute it takes to write it out. When you consider all that he does for us. That's my opinion. So, today I want to, share something with you that you may already have known. But for those who didn't, you can go on the journey with me. Tehillim 128, verse 1. Baruch are all those who revere Yahuah and those who walk in his ways. So the title of this audio is Serve No Mighty Ones, Part 1. Subtitle would be Mighty Ones and Idols Are Not the Same. So that's what I'm talking about. You may already know. And you would think I would have known. But I'm so glad I got the insight, the revelation of it, because I used to ask and he gave it to me. So I'm going to begin with Exodus 20, Shemot 20, beginning with verse 1. Then Yahuah spoke all these words. I am Yahuah your Yahuah, who has brought you out of the land of Mizraim, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other mighty ones before or besides me. One translation says, you have no other mighty ones against my face. You shall not make yourself any graven image to worship it, or any likeness of anything that is in the Shamayim above, or that is in the Arets beneath, or that is in the water under the earth, the Arets. You shall not bow down yourself to them or serve them. So, reading this yesterday, I think it was, last night, and it was within the last 36 hours. And I had never seen it like that before, because all the years of me reading Shemot 20, I put, you shall have no mighty ones before me. And it just ran right into, that's verse 3. It would run right into verse 4. You shall not make yourself any graven images. And I just put it all together. And I now see it differently. Because I used to ask in my heart, I was like, that doesn't make sense. That some translations, especially the Hallelujah scriptures, they would say mighty ones. And I'm thinking, how could those idols made of wood, who have mouths and don't talk, eyes don't see, legs and don't walk, throats and can't speak. And one, I think it might be in Tehillim 1:18 says, and those who worship them are like them. I'm like, how could they be considered mighty ones? But I think I have something to share with you today that you didn't already know. But I won't be surprised if some of y'all already knew, because we're all learning. We're at different stages. And I often think that I'm one of the simple ones, and that's okay, as long as I get it. So we're going to go from there. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to be pointing out, and it's going to be more than one audio on this. I can tell already. so many scriptures. I have, but I just couldn't do it all in one audio because I know the type of learner I am. I don't need too much at one time. I need to be able to digest. I need to be able to play it over and over again. I need to listen to it. I need to talk to Father. I need to, look up the verses. And so there's some listeners who are learners like I am. So I try, some of them are like 50 minutes, but I try not to do more than 30. But anyway, so me rambling on here now, I'm taking up some time. So I'm going to move on. So the first verse we're going to read, set of verses we're going to read is beginning with Ephesians 6. So remember, I just read that we're not to have any other mighty ones against his face, and we are not to make any graven images. So there are two different things. There were two different verses. So these are two different directions that he's given us, instructions that he's given us. Ephesians 6, beginning with verse 10, familiar scripture. Finally, my brethren, be strong in Yahuah, the Almighty One, and in the power of his mighty power. Put on his whole armor, that we may be able to stand against the tricks, snares, and plots of the evil one. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. These are the mighty ones. Wherefore take the whole armor of the Most High Yah, that we may be able to stand in the evil day, and having done all to stand, stand therefore, having our loins girt about with truth, having on the breastplate of righteousness, above all, taking the shield of belief, wherewith we shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. And take the helmet of salvation. Get that mindset. Why are we doing all this? And the sword of Haruach HaKadosh, and be always in constant counsel, speaking with Yahuah with all requests and calls and cries unto him and supplications in Haruach, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all keepers of Yahuwah's law. Remember in Tehillim 91, he says, Yah's truth is our shield and our armor. His truth is our shield and our armor. When we believe his truth, it is a shield. And we're able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. Why is that? Because we're standing on his word. And his word has power, and there's power in his word. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. These are the mighty ones. These are not the idols that men make. And they worship them like the expensive cars, the great neighborhood, the expensive designer clothing, the jewelry, flashy jewelry, and all those kind of things. Those are idols. The mighty ones are where our warfare is at. 2 Corinthians 10, for though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahuwah's invincible power to the pulling down of strongholds, obliterating imaginations and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of the great eternal one, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of the Mashiach. So the warfare that we're fighting against the principalities and powers and rulers of darkness of this world and spiritual wickedness in high places, it's not carnal. We can't do it on our own strength. We can't do it in the flesh. We can't do it in our natural mind. We have to do it through the invincible power of the Most High. Through that, we'll pull down all those strongholds, and it's mighty. It's not in our strength. We need him to be able to fight these battles. Job 1, verse 6. Now there was a day when the sons, the Elohims of Yahuah, came to present themselves before Yahuah, and Satan, the adversary and accuser, also came among them. And Yahuah said to Satan, from where did you come? Then Satan answered Yahuah, from going to and fro on the earth, walking up and down on it. And Yahuah said to Satan, have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him on the earth, a blameless and upright man, one who reverently fears the Almighty, and abstains from and shuns evil because it is wrong? Then Satan answered Yahuah, does Job reverently fear Yahuah for nothing? Have you not put a hedge about him and his house and all that he has on every side? You have conferred prosperity and happiness upon him in the work of his hands, and his possessions have increased in the land. But put forth your hand now and touch all that he has, and he will curse you to your face. And Yahuah said to Satan, who is the adversary and accuser, that's what he does all day long. He accuses us before our Father. He's an enemy. And in Yahuah 10, he says he only comes but to steal, kill, and destroy. So whenever he shows up, if he's not accusing us, it's to steal, kill, and destroy. Behold, all that he has is in your power. This is Yahuah talking to Satan. Only upon the man himself put not forth your hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of Yahuah. And then you have to read the story in Job if you want to, if you don't already know it. Job ended up losing just about everything he had. But he did not fail Yahuah. Yahuah knew him and said he knew him. And he proved faithful. But look at this. The enemy came before Yahuah, accusing him. And in the book of Jasher, we read he did the same thing with Abraham. And that's why Abraham was told by Yahuah to take Yishak up to the mountain to sacrifice him. It was because of Satan, the accuser, going to Father and saying that, oh, since Abraham has his son, he doesn't sacrifice him to you like he used to, and this and that. So he was accusing him. So when we're going through things, know that a mighty one is trying to set us up. Romans 6, let not disobedience and rebellion therefore reign in our mortal bodies, that we should obey it in the lust thereof. Kepha says that destruction's in the world today, corruption's in the world today because of lust. So lust is that thing that gets us into disobedience and rebellion against what's righteous and what is true. Neither yield our members as instruments of unrighteousness unto disobedience and rebellion. When you think about sin, that's all it is disobedience. If we narrow it down, it's disobedience and rebellion against the one of truth, the one that is righteous. So we're not supposed to yield our members as instruments of unrighteousness unto disobedience and rebellion, but we're to yield ourselves unto the eternal sovereign one as those that are alive from the dead, and our members as instruments of righteousness unto the great almighty one. For disobedience and rebellion shall not have dominion over us. Do you not know that to whom we yield ourselves servants to obey, his servants we are to whom we obey, whether of disobedience and rebellion unto death, or of obedience unto righteousness? Do you not know to whom we yield ourselves to obey, that we are that servant to that? Praise be to Yahuah, the compassionate kind one, that we were the servants of disobedience and rebellion, but we have obeyed from the heart that form of doctrine that was delivered to us. So when we came to the light, we decided we were going to walk in it. We left that old life alone. The past is past. There's an audio on that on the We Win platform. The past has passed. Verse 18, being then made free from disobedience and rebellion, we have become the servants of righteousness. For as we have yielded our members servants to uncleanness and to iniquity unto iniquity, even so now we yield our members servants to righteousness unto set apartness. So when we were unclean, we went from iniquity unto iniquity. It just we kept getting deeper and deeper in it. But now we yield, we willingly give our members, our hands, our eyes, our feet, our mind to righteousness, servants of righteousness unto set apartness. So we want to go from set apartness to more set apartness. And so until we start lining up, measuring up to his measuring stick. For when we were the servants of disobedience and rebellion, we were free from righteousness. What fruit had we then in those things where we are now ashamed? We look now at what we remember, some of the things we've done, places we've been, things we said and saw and looked at and thought was funny and cute. It's to our shame now. We're ashamed of it. For the end of those things is death. But now, being made free from disobedience and rebellion, we have become servants to the guiding principles and right rulings of Yahuah. We have our fruit unto set apartness, and the end, everlasting life. For the wages of disobedience and rebellion is death, but the gift of the eternal King is eternal life. But we were serving it. We were serving those mighty ones. Ezekiel 14. Then came certain of the elders of Yashrael unto me and sat before me. This is Ezekiel talking. And the word of Yahuah came to me, saying, Son of man, these men have set up their idols in their heart and put the stumbling block of their wickedness before their face. So it's just everywhere, and they're looking at themselves in their wickedness, and they don't have a problem with it. So Yahuah is asking Ezekiel, should I be inquired of at all by them? They got a lot of nerve coming to me to ask me something. Therefore speak unto them and say unto them, thus says Yahuah, every man of the house of Yashrael that sets up his idols in his heart and puts the stumbling block of his iniquity before his face, and then comes to the prophet, I, Yahuah, will answer him that comes according to the multitude of his idols. What? There's no reverence there. They don't even fear him. They done got so big and bold and fat in the sin that they're living. Transgressions. I don't like saying SIN because remember there's an audio on that, how that is an actually name of a mighty one. So I usually say transgressions, or I'll say disobedience, rebellion, something along that line, so I don't have to say the word SIN. So they had the idols in their heart, and they put the stumbling block of their wickedness before their face. Right there out in the open. Jeremiah Yahuah 17, Jeremiah 17, thus says Yahuah, cursed is the man that trusts in man, and makes flesh his arm, makes flesh his strength, and whose heart departs from Yahuah. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Ezekiel 14, remember? They had the idols in their hearts. Who can know it? We don't even know the depths of our heart. That's why some people end up in so much trouble. They don't even realize that their rebellion, disobedience, and thinking they can get away with stuff would take them as deep as it has taken them. And they wake up and realize, like, how did I get here? Are you kidding me? I don't even know why I did what I did. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Yahuah knows it. He knows our heart. And I've said many, many, many times, that's a scary thing when people say, well, he knows my heart. We ain't fooling him. He does know our heart better than we know it. Mark 9. Hamashiach is talking and he says, if your foot is a cause of stumbling and disobedience to you, cut it off. It is more profitable and wholesome for you to enter into a life that is really worthwhile, crippled, than having 2 feet to be sentenced to hell or Gehenna. So it's better for us to live a worthwhile life crippled than to have both feet and be sentenced to hell. And if our eye causes us to stumble and be disobedient, he tells us to pluck it out. It is more profitable and wholesome for us to enter the kingdom of Yahuah with 1 eye than with 2 eyes to be thrown into Gehenna. Tehillim 17. Dawood is talking to Yahuah. You have proved my heart. You have visited me in the night. You have tried me and find nothing, no evil purpose in me. For I have purposed that my mouth shall not transgress. Concerning the works of men, by the word of your lips, I have avoided the ways of the violent. I have avoided the ways of the paths of the destroyer. My steps have held closely to your paths, Yahuah, to the tracks of the one who goes on before. My feet have not slipped. May you show your marvelous loving kindness, O you who save by your right hand, those who trust and take refuge in you from those who rise up against them. Keep and guard me as the pupil of your eye. Hide me in the shadow of your wings. Now listen to what the mighty ones do. They track us down in each step we take. Now they surround us. They set their eyes to throw us to the ground, like a lion greedy and eager to tear his prey, and as a young lion lurking in hidden places. Arise, O Yahuah, and disappoint him. Throw him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked with your sword, which is your word. As for me, I will continue beholding your face in righteousness, in rightness, in justice, and right standing with you. I shall be fully satisfied when I awake, when I arise, to find myself beholding your form, your likeness, and having sweet communion with you. They track us down in each step we take. Now they surround us. They set their eyes to throw us to the ground, like a lion greedy and eager to tear his prey, as a young lion lurking in hidden places. That's how vicious the mighty ones come after us. Yahuah is the Almighty. He is greater. He is higher than they are. And that's why he's always warning us and trying to keep us on the right path. He told Adam how to keep eternal life. He warned him, but he didn't listen. because Yahuah knew that Hasatan, I'm not sure it was, no, it wasn't Hasatan. I read that in Enoch. But it was another one, another mighty one that was there that tricked him and his wife. Tahalim 91 gives us comfort and hope against the mighty ones. Verse 9 says, because we have made Yahuah our refuge, even the Most High our habitation, there shall no evil befall us, neither shall any plague come near our dwelling place, our tent. Because Yahuah is our habitation. We've made him our habitation. So when we live in him, if we stay in him, if we stay close to him, we keep our eyes on him, we are kept. We are kept and protected from the greedy lion eager to tear us apart as prey. It goes on to say, we shall tread upon the lion and adder, the young lion and the dragon shall we trample under feet. It's in Yahuah that we have victory against these mighty ones. There's a difference between the mighty ones and idols. So I'm going to read you a few, there's 53, I think, 53 categories of mighty ones based on a book written years ago called Pigs in the Parlor by Frank and Ida Hammond, husband and wife. So I'm going to read these. I'm not going to read in this particular audio. I'm not going to read all the spirits that work for them. I'm just going to read, I'm going to call them the kingpins. I'm going to read the mighty ones, and then later on we'll talk about their minions, the ones that work for them and how they work against us. Okay? So we have bitterness, rebellion, strife, control. And while I'm reading this, see if you can find yourself these things working in your life, and it'll explain to you what's going on, especially things that, most of us, it should be all of us, are striving to get right with Yah, and yet we're having issues. And some of them are generational things, because those spirits do look for the next generation, because they need a body to dwell in. So once one host dies, they look for another one. That's why it's not good to name children after somebody. But that's on another audio. So we got bitterness and rebellion, strife and control, retaliation, accusation, rejection, insecurity, jealousy, withdrawal, escape, passivity, depression, heaviness, worry, nervousness, sensitiveness, persecution, mental illness, schizophrenia, paranoia, confusion, doubt, indecision, self-deception, mind binding, mind idolatry, fears, fear of authority, pride, affectation, covetousness, perfection, competition, impatience, false burden, grief, fatigue, inheritance, hyperactivity, cursing, addictive and compulsive, gluttony, self-accusation, guilt, sexual impurity, cults, occult, religious, spiritism, false religion. And each one of these, like I said, have several workings. These are just the headings. I'm going to call them headings, but they're actually the main mighty one. And they're fighting for us. They're wanting us to get all tangled up and caught up so that we are excluded, not accepted in the kingdom. And when you think about it, when you really get an idea, you realize that, wow, we do serve those. It's like, oh, I struggle with this. No, we're actually yielding. Remember, we read in Romans, we're actually yielding to that. And to whom we yield, we are their servant. So I'm going to read a little bit. Bitterness, under bitterness, that mighty one has resentment and hatred and unforgiveness and violence and temper and anger and retaliation and murder that comes with bitterness. So bitterness could show itself up in any of those attributes right there. Rebellion, self-will, stubbornness, disobedience, anti-submissiveness. Some people pride themselves of being stubborn. That is yielding to a mighty one. It's just so many of them. It's just so many. I'm not going to get deep in, because we'll do this on another audio. So know this, that there's something in our life that doesn't line up with the law, that we know that it's not lining up with love. Then we need to see that we're in a warfare, and we know that our warfare is not carnal. It's mighty. But we can pull down those strongholds. Through Yahuah, we can pull them down. We can get free. The mighty ones, in Ephesians 6, verse 12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. Oh my. And anyone who has been struggling with any attributes that are not that of the Father, because we are to be in His image. We are to be resembling Him, right? Doing all those things that please Him. But when we find ourselves struggling so hard, and and sometimes we'll say, oh, it's in my family, I don't want to be like this, but I am. When we really come to knowledge of, I am actually yielding myself to this, and love His truth, love Yah's truth, and we'll be free. Stay in His secret place, we'll get free. He tells us how to do it. Speak His word, and we'll be free. Have that heart to want to be free. And don't hide it in our heart like we got it tucked away and Yahuah doesn't see it. Yohanan 14, this is Hamashiach speaking. I will not talk with you much more, for the prince, that evil genius and ruler of the world, is coming, and he has no claim on me. He has nothing in common with me. There is nothing in me that belongs to him, and he has no power over me. And this is where we have to get, where he has no power over us. There's nothing in us that he has in common with us. He's got no claim on us. There's a few audios on this platform that talks about things along that line. You can scroll through and find them. Evil spirits is planted in childhood is one of them. Let go of snares of the past. Complaining could release serpents. And our hearts are being judged, but there's several. In closing, Tahalim 17, I already read it. I'm just going to close in it. As for me, I will continue beholding your face, Yahuah, in righteousness, justice, and right standing with you. I shall be fully satisfied when I awake to find myself with your likeness and having sweet communion with you. Brothers and sisters, we've got to get free of serving these mighty ones. We've got to get free of it. If someone is struggling with worry, that's a mighty one. He's gotten hold. Remember when Hamashiach was talking about how when a man got cleaned, his house was cleaned, he began living righteously. And then his the evil spirit that lived there was delivered. He was delivered of that thing, and he came back after walking in dry places. He said, I'm going back to where I was, and I'm gonna bring 7 more that's even more powerful than me, so we can gain authority over this person again. They need a place to house. They need a host. And then they get us serving them because they're controlling us. And we got to get free of these things and stop making excuses. We're serving mighty ones. When we have ways about ourselves that are not pleasing to Father, and He has shown us that this is not me. We can look at Galatians 5, I think verse 22 is it, and he talks about the attributes of love. If we're falling short there, then we know that we need to look and see what mighty one has set up camp in me. And you know what? If we don't, we're not going to be able to. We don't know where we're going to be when things flip flop and turn over and everything is chaotic and so much is happening. We don't know who we're going to be staying with. We don't know where. We don't know any of that. And if we have not got ourselves where we are only yielding unto righteousness and listening to Yahuah and living for Him, it's going to be very difficult. Very difficult. And we all have to start working on that. It's not about us. If we're at someone's house and they said we can come and stay there, we don't eat the last of something or use the last of something or hoard something. If you've ever watched the movie The Diary of Anne Frank, when they were all living in this little place, little office, and one man was added to their group, and he was always hungry. And he had not learned how to eat a little so everybody can have some. We have got to start working on ourselves. We only want to be kin to Yahuah. We want to serve righteousness and truth. We want to be servants of righteousness and truth. Not anything else. Because those things are carnal. And carnality is enmity with the Father. It's His enemy. But we want to be like Hamashiach said, the enemy's coming. He's a genius, he called him. An evil genius. And you know what? Haven't we all come to know him to be that? He's a mighty one. But he has no claim on me, Yahushua said. He has nothing in common in me. There is nothing in me that belongs to him. And he has no power over me. May we all get to that place and we can say that. But that's a mighty one. There are mighty ones, and they are out to get us, to completely devour us. Where is that at? Where it says, like a lion greedy and eager to tear his prey, and as a young lion lurking in hidden places. They track us down in each step we take. Now they surround us and they set their eyes to throw us to the ground. They're wicked. We've got to get free, brothers and sisters. We've got to get free. We've got to get free. So there's a difference between mighty ones and idols. And the mighty ones are where our warfare is at. The idols, that's where our heart is at. And because we have mighty ones who are, we didn't even know we were puppets to them, has caused us to have idols. But the mighty ones have got to be, as 2 Corinthians 10 says, that though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. They can't be carnal. We're dealing with mighty ones. But our weapons are mighty through Yahuwah's invincible power, to the point that we will pull down those strongholds, obliterate obliterate imaginations and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of the great eternal one. And then we'll bring it into captivity. And you know what? It starts with thoughts, and bring it into captivity, every thought, to the obedience of Hamashiach. So we have to become more determined to be obedient, because it's disobedience and rebellion that opens the door for a mighty one to walk in. When we're obedient, and how many times did Father not say that? Had Moshe to instruct the people to be obedient. And that would protect us. So with that, brothers and sisters, let's really seek Yah's face, asking him, Father, show me the mighty ones that might be working in my life so I can be free. It's just like, and we're going to talk about this in another audio, when he brought them out of Misraim, and he told them that he was going to destroy the Perizzites and the I can't think of their names right now, but all those names, those ites, he was going to destroy them. He did the Jebusites, all of them, Amalekites, all of them. Those represent mighty ones. He's going to do the same for us. There's an audio on this platform, the We Win platform, that says he'll heal our land. Remember that verse in 2 Chronicles 7. If my people who are called by my name will call on me, turn from their wicked ways, he will heal our land. Let's get delivered from these things, these mighty ones. Let's not serve them. Shemot 20, and have no other mighty ones against my face. You shall have no other mighty ones before me or beside me. We serve the Almighty One. They take their orders from him. He has the final say. That's why they want us so bad. The more we look like him, the more they hate us, and they try to trip us up and do all kinds of planning against us. Brothers and sisters, we win in Yahuah when we get that mindset. We put that helmet on, that mindset, that thinking, that I will serve you, Yah, and only you. Free me of disobedience. Free me of being presumptuous. And help me to make it. Grant unto me a great alliance to you, an allegiance to you. So I'll serve no other. Until next time, brothers and sisters, be encouraged. Stay in the state of courage, because this is warfare. This is real warfare. This is real warfare. Oh, I love you, brothers and sisters. It's a real warfare. And they ain't playing. They are not playing. They track us down in each step we take. They surround us. They set their eyes to throw us to the ground. And like a lion greedy and eager to tear his prey, and as a young lion lurking in hidden places, they are after us. They are after us to destroy us totally. But Dawood says, arise, O Yahuah, disappoint him, throw him down, as you deliver my soul, my being, from the wicked. With your sword, speak your word, Father, speak your word for me. And help me continue beholding your face in righteousness. The warfare is real. But we win in Yahuah. So be encouraged. And I will talk with you soon. All praises be to the Most High. All praises be to the King of Kings, the eternal King, the Great One, the Almighty One. He has allowed us to come into the knowledge of that truth of who He is. He's the invincible one. All power is His. They've got some power, but He's got all power. He speaks the word and it's so. The sword of His Ruah is His word. And we have the authority to trample them under feet. We went in Yahuah, and I'll talk to you soon. Stay courageous and honest. Better look at it as it is. Because remember, there's going to be a group of people, He's going to say, I never knew you. No matter what we did, no matter how much we know His name. That garment. Remember the man who was came to the wedding supper, he had the right garment on? The 10 maidens, they were all candidates, but only 5 made it in. This is a tight walk. Now, it ain't going to be about who we know, what we got. If we don't have righteousness and we don't have a record of obeying His commands and loving Him with all our heart, soul, might, strength, we ain't getting in. We got to tighten this up. The road is narrow. It's not that many can fit on it because it's so tight. Most people don't want to do what all it takes. Look at the 5 foolish that didn't bring the oil. They didn't think it took all that. We got to be free of these mighty ones. And I'll talk to you some more about it. I hope this will generate some dialogue with Father. See if, and there's one verse too that says the little foxes spoil the vine. Could be some little bitty things happening and we don't even know. But we will now because we can talk to Him about it. Let's not have no idols in our hearts. Let's not keep stumbling blocks around making excuses. Because it's not going to work. Praise Yah. Praise Yahuah.